In this video, I'm going to be giving you guys 5 tips on shooting with off-camera flash on location. If you guys are new to my channel and you are new to off-camera flash and photography, I urge you to hit the subscribe button because I do behind the scenes videos, tips and tricks, all things photography. Let's get into it. So tip number 1, you want to go and scout the location. So before the time and the day of the actual shoot, it's important to be able to go to that location if you can and take a look around the time that you'll actually be doing that photo shoot to give you an idea of a few things. One, you'll be able to assess the light, the direction in which the light's coming from. You'll be able to picture in your mind where you'll be able to position your subject in order to get the most efficient photos. You also want to look for areas that you can position your flash so that you can get your desired look. If you get there, you can understand the location. It'll help you plan a lighting setup. You'll be able to optimize the use of off-camera flash if you would even be able to use it where you'll be shooting. Number 2, when you're going to shoot on location, it's very, very important to check to make sure that all your batteries are charged. When you're shooting with off-camera flash, you're thinking about more than just your camera, right? You may have 1 or 2 different off-camera flash units that will need to be charged for the shoot. Trust me when I say one of the most heart-wrenching things that can happen is you get to the location and you realize that either your off-camera flash device is dead or it's about to die and you've got a limited amount of time, right? That's gonna put you in a situation where you're rushing or you just may have to ditch using off-camera flash altogether. It also may come in handy to have 1 or 2 extra batteries on hand in case one of them goes dead while you're on the shoot. Usually doesn't happen, but sometimes if you're in really hot or really cold conditions, batteries tend to be kind of fickle, so keep that in mind. Tip number 3, and this one's a little unrelated to off-camera flash, but it's important because when you're using off-camera flash, you have a lot more equipment to think about. Make sure that you have all of the attachments for your actual camera. If you're shooting with a tripod, make sure you've got the tripod and the attachment. What I like to do is make sure that I set up my tripod to the tripod and then disassemble it, put it in my bag. Same thing with my camera. Whip it out, take a photo with it, look in the camera to make sure the photo is there. You want to avoid leaving your SD card or seeing that your battery's uncharged. So anytime I go out, I always make sure to take a photo on the camera, make sure it's in the camera before I put my camera in the bag. You want to be very systematic because leaving one small piece can just ruin an entire shoot. So make sure that you check all of your equipment. Tip number 4, make sure that you're prepared for the weather. Shooting on location means that you're going to be dealing with weather conditions, right? You're not in a controlled environment like a studio. This can impact your flash or your gear if it's too hot, if it's raining, if it's too cold. So make sure you're prepared for these things. For me personally, I'm in Texas. It gets really hot here, but the wind is the number 1 thing I think people should be thinking about if you have off-camera flash, especially if you're using a big modifier. And so think about, the wind. You may want to bring a sandbag or 2 so the wind's not going to blow over your flash unit. And then also you'll want to make sure that you use the correct type of modifier for the weather. For instance, if it's a really windy day, a lot of times I'd like to use a softbox, but if it's going to be really windy, then most of the time I'll just use a small reflector dish, like a 12-inch reflector dish or like a 18-inch beauty dish and call it a day. Tip number 5, if you are new to off-camera flash and you're wanting to try it out and experiment, make sure you go out and do a practice shoot. Get your friends, your family, your girlfriend, boyfriend, get somebody out there and let them, model for you while you shoot and practice. Don't go out there for the first time with a paying client and you don't know what you're doing. Get your practice, experiment, get that down before you get out there and make a fool of yourself. But on the other hand, get out there and try it. If you're new to off-camera flash, it can be a lot of fun. Try different things. Try it when the sun's high in the sky. Try it at golden hour. Try using it at night and see the different looks that you can get. I say, play with it as much as you can because honestly, using off-camera flash is one of the most rewarding things I have found as a photographer, and you guys may enjoy it just as much. So I hope these tips were helpful. If they were, guys, hit that subscribe button also because I'll be making more videos like these and you don't want to miss them. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.